back to another episode of the Shed Geek Podcast, and gosh, this is fun. Talk about being welcome at somebody's lot. Judd, you want to just introduce yourself, maybe your name, the name of your company, and a little bit about who you are, sir.
Yeah, hey Shannon, I'm glad you stopped by. I know I'm got a futon here. I might just lay down
Take a nap
after that big dinner we had.
Is this what you do, like your daily nap time? Or
Yeah, every hour on the hour. Yeah. Cheesecake was good.
Man, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm Judd Hibner, Judson Hibner, my full name, and owner and inventor of Rapid Shelves.
Awesome.
And it's a shelving company for specifically for the shed industry. So we kind of our mission is to have shelving that can go in any building and can be installed by anyone.
So I'll set the scene for those who weren't here today and didn't get to enjoy. We show up, we'll kind of get into this, sort of your, what led you here. We're in Burkesville, Kentucky is where we are. And I told Judd, I said, I know we said 10 o'clock, but if I can save myself a hotel room, I just didn't come down day of if that works for you. And he says, sure, we're having an employee birthday and we're going to have some grub. So if you want to get here about noon, and he was speaking my language, I didn't hear anything after he told me there was free food other than I was ready to be there. And we showed up with the most warm welcome and had some I don't even know what you call it, but we had some.
It's like chicken gumbo.
Yeah.
Etouffee.
Yeah. It was great. A little Louisiana dish, a little Cajun dish there. We had and some awesome cheesecake after it. Man, you guys know how to make a fellow feel welcome whenever he shows up. So we'll get into Rapid Shelves, but I'm curious, Judd, it's sort of your shed story, your shed life, your journey, kind of maybe what got you started in getting to know you. I found out some cool things I didn't know, like you're from Florida originally, but tell me what landed you in the shed life anyway.
Yeah, so we moved here in '99 to Kentucky, and I've been in construction my whole life. Kind of went full circle. Started my own company in excavation all the way to framing, building some buildings that way, into commercial painting, and wound up getting in a business with my brother with semis and didn't like it at all. I'm not one that likes to just sit, so I like to move and shake a lot more than drive a truck.
Yeah.
Anyways, I knew the Gingrich's, and they bought Esches out, and so I started in production with my construction background into the production facilities as a production manager. So that's how I kind of wound up into the shed industry.
Okay, so you're in the community. You say I'm a builder. I can get in. What was your experience like as a production guy? Like what year was that you would have been building?
Well, that would have been like 3 years ago when I started, and I didn't know anything about building portable buildings, believe it or not, and I started in on the production end of it. Thankfully, the people that build know everything about building, and I just needed to keep the flow of it going, kind of making sure all the materials were available. That was kind of more my thing. If they came to me, I had a lot of references I could go to see if it would work, if there was something that needed to be changed, but I was kind of in place to keep everything flowing, and I can do that.
It's good to be a connecting point, to getting people the information they need. I always tell people a lot of times, I've actually had people call me and ask me about consultation. I said, I'll tell you what I know, but I may need to get you to someone who knows more. It's slim pickings whenever you're picking this brain, so I'll try to get you in touch with the right folks. But, in 3 years, it's been a roller coaster. What a time to join the shed industry. Now, Esches itself, and you take care of sales
right.
for them and many other things. just like every shed company, oftentimes the amount of hats that you wear don't always get the right accolades necessarily, but you do a lot for the company, I know. But it's really cool to pull up and see a sign that says, been around since 1985. How did Ashes get their start?
I started here, like I say, 3 years ago, and I'm not 100% sure on all the back history of it.
Yeah.
I know about 3 years back when I started, and it's been a good experience. I've really enjoyed the people here, and I've learned so terrible much. So
The lot is just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are serving that middle Kentucky, middle Tennessee area. Whenever I pull up here, and it's very rural, or fairly rural,
Mm-hmm.
and man, a beautiful lot. You can notice it really as you're coming down the road. You see it for a half a mile off.
Yeah.
And just great buildings. I got to go in and look around and see some of the stuff. So I'm guessing you're trucking along in this, production mind and procurement mind, really. And I think me and you kind of have that in common. I started in purchasing and procurement, and I can't help but think that you just took it way farther, a step farther, and saw something I didn't there with procurement, man. And you said there's a need in the industry. Wanted to step in and try and fill that need. Put words in your mouth, but tell me about rapid shelves. What made you, where's the why? Simon Sinek says find the why, right? So like, what's the why? Why did you think of this?
Yeah, so like you said, in production, there's always a need to speed things up and make flow go faster, and so as I looked at all the things happening, there's lots of components, there's lots of things that go into a shed, and the faster you can kind of, most of it's done on piecework, and the sooner you can get that built, and retain quality is what you want. And I seen that the shelving part of it, when you build out 3-tier shelving, I seen that it was taking longer. You had to have people that kind of knew how to build them.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just get a new hire and put him on 3-tier shelving without, maybe doing some, back checking and definitely passing some, checklist on that. So I by nature, I love to invent stuff. I've actually am involved in another product called Light Ride. It's a grill that my friend and I have invented, patented, and got it in manufacturing as well.
Nice.
I've invented rapid shelves and another product. So I love to innovate. I love to create stuff.
Yeah.
And as I saw the need in production to create something to speed up the process and make it available to anybody to put in,
Sure.
Whether it's in the manufacturing line, or if it's on the lot, or if it's in somebody's backyard.
Yeah.
Rapid shelves can be a item that can go in by anybody.
Sure. Cool name too, rapid shelves.
Yeah,
the ideas. They go up quick. I would guess. You have. So we've got a couple here for those that are watching on YouTube. For those that aren't, please go to Shed Geek Podcast and subscribe to YouTube, and you'll get those notifications. But if you happen to be watching this, kind of tell me what you got here that's sitting in front of us. This is, you were telling me, I want to show people this right here. This is motivation. I love this guy because he's got these visual cues. 1 of a million.
Yeah, 1 of 1 million. And what this is if you want to go back to the why. So I want to, kind of my vision is with this is to create a standard of cleanliness. I think the Bible says, it might not be in the Bible, but it says cleanliness is next to godliness. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I want to have that availability for anybody. When you sell a shed, if you sell the shed and they're going to junk it out, that doesn't go good with me. I'm in sales now. That doesn't go good with me. I want my shed that I sell to be taken care of. Well, rapid shelves is what I'm doing. Also, not only providing a fast product, fast shelving, but also getting clutter out of people's lives. And you can take that spiritually and with a product. We need to get clutter out of our lives.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
That's kind of my mission in life, is to help people declutter. And this is a good way to do it. And I think by if I hit 1 million, I'll declutter a lot of buildings.
Not my mind. And this is sort of the prototype, but then for those that are looking on here, they can see kind of a finished product and additions that you've made to it, adding another hole there for stability and sturdiness. But I mean, this is powder coated.
Powder coated,
You can,
and that's my standard. Powder coatings are standard bracket. And so those are 24 inch. The one you have there's 24 inch.
this is sort of
That's a 16 inch.
a 16, so somebody's looking, and you offer a couple different sizes. Not is it just these two, or
these are the main ones right now, but I do have more coming. I do have more. I do have like a bench, a work bench that's 4 foot, and I do have 36 inch. I mean, but these are kind of my standards, just off the shelf. But
have you considered adding a line of shed accessory items to your sales lot? Introducing Shedderize. Shedderize has multiple items to organize your customer's new shed. From tool shelves to workbenches with pegboard, 3-tier shelves, cord and ladder hooks, and more. Shedderize is seeking shed manufacturers and dealers who want to partner and make these items available for your customers. Dealers can order items for display, then complete an order form and have the items shipped directly to the customer. You can also purchase in bulk to add to your line of sheds or have inventory available right there at your sales lot. Installation is simple and takes just a few minutes for most items. To know more, contact Dave Fisher at 866-548-1625 or visit Shedderize.com. Shedderize, organization made easy.
What I love, man, is this right here.
yeah.
Like, I saw this on your website, the first time we talked a few months back, and it's what a visual cue, for somebody wondering about the sturdiness of shelves, outside of seeing them served as like a used as a lumber rack up top, but I mean, just seeing guys standing on these things.
Yeah, this is usually confidential, but I'm 6 foot tall and 210 pounds, so.
Usually confidential. I'm gonna keep mine confidential. Mine's gonna stay usually confidential today. I live vicariously through my son. He's 18. He's not $140, and I'm like, I remember those days.
Yeah.
But no, this is pretty cool. So what's the weight? What's the weight rating on something like
The weight rating is about 250 pounds, and you're gonna break the front of that 2x4 off before you'll hurt the bracket. One good thing is if you do actually ever hurt the bracket, I offer a lifetime warranty on them.
Okay.
So I stand behind that product. That's a 14 gauge galvanized and steel. They ain't going anywhere.
So I'm gonna tell you what excites me about it is a couple of things. One, anything new and creative in the industry. When I first started the podcast, I used to say a lot, and it's something that I still use a lot of times in my everyday speech is that we're made in God's image, and what do we know about God? Reading the Bible chronologically, it says in the beginning God created, so immediately He's creative.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I love anything that's creative type. I think that that's something we could stand a little more of in the shed industry.
Absolutely, and there's a huge window for it.
There is really, as the industry's maturing, it's more than just a box for your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen that whenever you're seeing backyard offices, studios for, working out and music and, just, the man caves, the shoe
golf
sheds,
seminars,
yeah.
whatever they call those things.
Yeah, all of that, it's become more than just a place to throw your stuff, but it, ultimately, we sell storage, that's the idea. But most people are going to go buy. This is the thing that gets me that seems so common sense about it. And most people are going to go buy something to organize their shed afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
they're going to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or their local hardware store. Some are going to be the I can do it cheaper myself guy, and they're going to go get a couple 2x4s and mess up a few things, or make something that's makeshift or something that gets by, just barely. But I mean, this is simple. That's the whole key. It's simple. I mean, it fits right onto the 2x4.
Yeah, and that's the functionality of it. It just goes straight on. You just pop a chalk line, put the bracket at the chalk line, each one of them, pop some screws in, and you got it. Anybody can do it. So that's, yeah. And then if you look at, if you go to Lowe's and say you buy your 2x4s or you build them in the manufacturing facility, you got to think of, you're taking out space by having uprights and horizontals. So if you want to slide a tote under there, your 2x4 base of the shelf that's there takes up 3.5 inches, and then you have an upright every however many feet your standard is, but probably every 6 feet or 4 feet or whatever you do. So you have an upright that you have to go around. With this shelving, this bracket, you don't have any uprights, you don't have any horizontals. Everything's open, so if you have, it's all open, so you don't have anything in the way.
What was the day of inspiration? What was can you think back to a particular moment in time where you're like, you know what needs to happen? There needs to be a steel shelf that can hold a lot of weight and can just attach easily to the 2x4. Do you remember the moment?
Well, I don't know if I remember the exact moment, but I've been, because I have quite a few of those moments, and a lot of them don't go anywhere, but this is stuck. And, I'm always thinking and dreaming and brainstorming, and so it was one of those that it stuck. It made sense. Some of them, they're fun to dream, it's fun to think, and you can get creative, but you can't. Some stuff is too far out to try to obtain. This one wasn't. This is so simple, and it just fits. So it stuck, but I can't remember the exact day but I remember thinking that, man, I got to make something that's metal that just is way simpler than this.
So did you actually engineer? Was you like, hey, I want to be the one to draw this thing out, or I'm going to have to get in front of somebody to help me create this vision?
No, that's a great question, and I actually did engineer it myself. I created a design and I drew it all out, and like I said, my other company, Lightright, we had a manufacturer already for that company that we've designed that, but so I had him, and I sent him actually it was on a napkin. I drew it out one day, and I drew it out and sent him a picture. So this is what I want, and so he created me some, built some, sent them to me as prototypes, and I did my weight testing. So I said, that's not going to work. So I redid it, told him what I needed. He sent me some more, and so I said, well, that's still not quite what I want. And so we wanted to get away from. Anytime you can get away from a seam, this is just another thing with this. Anytime you can get away from any kind of seam, you have more stability. So if you can get away from a weld, if you notice there's no welds on them. The prototypes that I had been doing had to have a weld on them. And so we'd come up with this design. He knew his machines better than me, and he said, I can make one with no weld. And so that's what we did. We created this design with no weld. So it just saved, it looks better, I think, and it actually has more stability.
Super convenient. I mean, the thing is, this is something that manufacturing can put on, this is something dealers can put on, or this is something the DIY or the end user can purchase these.
Guess who else can put them on?
A shed geek.
Robots.
Oh, okay. Hey, I've been known. I've been
down
known
the
as a
road.
robot.
The shed geek could
to do the robot. Yeah, that's well, you've kept it easy enough for a geek like myself to be able to figure it out. But yeah, it is. I mean, robot compatible. I mean, it's something that if you're moving that way with automation as a shed manufacturer, real simple to add on there as well. And coming standard in the shed, let's be honest. I mean, there's customers are. It's like I said. That to me, the common sense element to it is customers are going to go home. They're going to buy it somewhere. They're going to get it somewhere. They're going to find an organization.
Hey guys, this is the Shed Geek, and I'm here to tell you about the latest in financial innovation to hit the shed industry. It's a program called Backyard Finance. Everywhere I go, shed manufacturers and shed sellers are always asking, how can I get a better payment option for my customer? At Backyard Finance, they're making this a reality. You might be asking, how do I sign up? Simple, just go to Backyard Finance, click on the Get Started Now button, and create an account. After that, you'll have 200 plus banks competing to give your customer the best financial terms possible. With Backyard Finance, you can service your customers two ways: direct to customer lending or direct to merchant lending. With direct to merchant lending, simply fill out an application. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks to process that application, but it'll allow you a variety of financing options to make you a more competitive retailer. With FICO scores as low as 500, 600, or 700 plus, your customers will receive financing options with APRs as low as 2.99% or as high as 29.99%. Credit applications are approved in just 15 to 45 seconds. To know more, contact Backyard Finance at 833-692-2286 or email info@backyardfinance.com today. Backyard Finance, funding backyard dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole purpose of the buying. So we're seeing the shed industry mature into a little bit past just, hey, here's a box for your stuff, but here's resources available. And these are upsell items too.
That's exactly right, yeah.
I mean, if you're a dealer, even if you're not making as much as you would in the shed, well, when you make a few more dollars, I mean, I know we used to with blocks, with several things. I mean, it's been a little while since I've been in full-time sales, admittedly, but podcast takes all my time nowadays.
Well, it's a cool podcast, I will tell you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's got me running, buddy, left and right all the time, but I love it. I do enjoy it. I get to meet and see cool things like this, and I had heard of Esches, never got a chance to get down here, and I had even heard of rapid shells before maybe you got a proper introduction. But I'm glad we got connected. What do you think is the future of accessories? Where do you think that's going? Your purpose and your why, you're saying, is to declutter, and like you said, you liken that to sort of a spiritual thought as well as a practical thought. But you think it's something that we'll see more of? I mean, obviously you guys have got 50, 60 sheds out here, and every one of those are going to need organization. They're going to need something. Do you think you were talking about crazy ideas. I had one time where I was like, one thing that frustrates me with having a loft is not being able to, most people don't use the loft. They don't access the loft because it's really cool to have it up there. The stuff goes up there and stays. It's not really easy to get to, whether it's a ladder or whether it's some kind of way to move your stuff from the loft down easier. For me, I get up on the ladder, I get unbalanced, I trip and fall, who knows what, I'm clumsy. But I'm always thinking of these harebrained ideas of like, what are new things that you think we'll see with the shed industry, or do you think that's rapid shelves is something we're going to see more of?
We're definitely going to see more of that. Yeah, I mean, definitely going to see more of accessories, especially as people think about speeding production up. As you think about the end user, what they're doing in their own sheds, so in my sales, there's so terrible many different use cases for buildings that as a certain use case keeps coming up time after time again, you're going to see that just become a standard accessory. And that's what I'm looking for, that with rapid shelves to just become a standard way of building shelving. I think once people see the ease of it, you just get hooked. It's a little bit like drinking Coke.
I love the open stud shelving, simple, fast touch. When did you actually launch? When did you get rolling?
It's been about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
We got started.
What's been your experience as far as the industry thus far? I mean, being on the show, one of the reasons I wanted to interview you is to help bring awareness to your product, right? We've got, roughly measurably about 1,000 listeners right now, that we can calculate every week. What's sort of your message to them in terms of bringing awareness of this product to them? How do you want to get this product to them?
Yeah, so I would love to have the dealers just buy some and small quantities is fine, and try them out. And could make a display in your sales office, and show them to your customers and see if it's something that add value to them. I think you'll the feedback I've got from everybody is it adds value, and so I think I know for a fact it will for anybody that's looking for shelving. So that's kind of what I see is the dealers begin to see that they can make a little bit of extra money on something that doesn't take any. That's just kind of a given that you're going to have shelves anyways, and then the ease of it. Not only that, they can go back as a sales manager. You always want to go back to your customers and try to touch them with a new product or something new. So this right here is, if you sold the building a year ago, a lot of people have a problem with procrastination. They don't get their things done that they said they were going to get done. So if you can have a email campaign to all your customers a year back, and you say, hey, are you frustrated with your clutter, in your building, or is stuff piling up in the building I sold you? Here's a solution for you, and then here, what happens? You're the trusted salesperson that gave them a solution to declutter their life and make their life happy, and that's why we go to work, isn't it? To make other people's lives happy and make them,
fulfilling that need, right?
Problem solving.
Yeah.
And what does that do for you then in the end?
It makes you money.
Makes you puts bread on the table.
So it's a good point too, and one that people maybe miss is become that trusted salesman. You might get a new lead out of that altogether.
Absolutely, yeah.
You contact them about rapid shelves, and you're following up, and you're just that friendly face that didn't just take their money a year ago, and you're happy because you got the commission, but I hadn't heard from you a while, but once we started selling us a lot of products, and I know you have a shed. Hey, if you had a car, you might need some tires, right? I've got a shed, you might need some shelves, This is maintenance, aftercare, or whatever, however you want to look at it, the organization of it. And if you hadn't gotten any yet, I'd love to run some of these down there to you and have you take a look at them. And, with me, I'd probably, hey, how about we throw these in here for a week, put a little, throw some plywood up here and see what it looks like. In a week from now, they're going to be like, yeah, I'll go ahead and pay you for them. But you might get a sell out of it. In reality, somebody might say, to be honest with you, I've been meaning to call you. I'm looking for a larger shed.
For another one, we want to do this or that. And there's so many use cases that just another touch point, is definitely a way to get another,
Anytime you get in front of the customer over and over and over, for me, I just see it as a benefit. So,
and another thing too is people like the sense of winning. Everybody likes to win, and so say you're want to sell a building, and they're like, well, it's just a little more than I want to pay. Well, if you can say, look, I can give you 4 foot of shelving with that building. If you buy it today, I'll put in the shelving for you. And guess what? You have just a couple brackets, because you space these every 2 foot, and that goes 2 foot on center. So guess what? If you're gonna do 10 foot, you need 5 of them. Or 6, I guess, because you got one end. But you can go put it out right then. You can go stick it in for them. Hey, they won. You won.
Yeah. ShedHub.com is the shed industry's very first two-sided marketplace that allows you, the shed seller, to list your inventory on a site specifically designed for selling sheds. ShedHub establishes more qualified sales leads and helps your customers find you with a simple online search. Shoppers searching where to buy sheds and sheds near me have grown by 200% in the last 2 years. This means even if the buyer wants to visit a sales lot to purchase a shed, their shed buying journey started with a simple Google search. They can actually check out and purchase the shed straight from ShedHub if they prefer to shop online. ShedHub does not charge any commission for sheds you sell. We simply charge the monthly subscription. Your sales commission is still yours to keep. Sheds listed on ShedHub will have first page search results in 91% of cities, or where to buy sheds is searched. For special pricing only available through ShedGeek, simply go to geek.shedhub.com to see the promo codes that allow you to save as much as 50% off the first 12 months of your subscription, and over 75% for companies with multiple sales locations. Sell more sheds using shedhub.com.
Just over this shelving, it's so simple. It's not like you have to go build something big, you know.
It was surprising to me what little things customers were holding on to get, to finish out the sale.
Well, I think we're used to that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Car dealers, free car washes for a
Yeah.
year, free oil changes. So people are kind of accustomed to that.
Yeah, they've been a little bit primed to expect something, and I love what you said there, and this as a sales manager, like you said, they want to win. They want to feel like they got something, and how would somebody go about getting, whether you're a shed dealer, shed manufacturer, who knows, you're a shed hauler and you want to sell some of
Keep
these.
some in your truck.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's another thing. Just thinking about transportation. Like drivers, they could keep them in their truck. They don't take up much room.
Yeah.
They're out at the customer. They could sell, some shelves there. So hey, do you want a shelf in there real quick? Put it in. They make themselves 56. Take your wife out.
That's right. So, make it, even if you don't get a tip from that customer, you kind of create your tip by making that extra little bit of money. And how many times have you actually delivered the shed and they're like, well, we got to run to Lowe's and get some of this, get some of that, and like, hey man, I got something for you. The sales got it. Take care of you. I got it right here. So you never know. The point is, it's a good product. It's a sturdy product. It's made in America, family owned, small business, and it's creative. It's creative and it's solving a problem. It's an upsell. It's more potential for you to put something else in if you're a manufacturer, a hauler, maybe a shed salesperson that's on the lot delivering it. So I'm a firm believer of people buying from people that they trust. So let me ask you, and these are the questions I like to ask. Who's Judd as a person? Give me a little bit on the personal side of Judd here today, because I'm just convinced that people will buy and will communicate with people that they know and that they trust. The podcast is an opportunity to kind of tell who you are, not just a business and your professionalism in sales. Gosh, like I've never been more welcome, guys. If you want my word for it, I've never been more welcome to show up and have some good food and get to crush your conference office here today. And we're gonna go out and try to get a few videos and different things and do another interview here later today. But what's Judd? Who drives Judd as a person, and why do you like doing this? These things you do in the shed industry. Why does it matter?
Well, I think if you want to just come full circle, I've got 2 children, a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
My girl's 7 years old. My boy's gonna turn 4 here next month. And of course, my wife and myself. And a dog and a cat. So,
There you go.
got the full family there. But that's why I do it, because of those other 3 people.
Yeah.
That's and and the Bible also says everything you do is unto the Lord, and I want to put the Lord first in my life. I'm a big believer in that. Without Him, you're nothing. I've been there. I've been a if you really want to go into my past, I guess I've been an alcoholic. I've been a chain smoker. I've been everything that you can think of, and the Lord saved me out of that, and I'm thankful, and I want to make a difference in other people's lives, whether it's touching them through being less frustrated because their building's cluttered, or if it's telling them my experience with the Lord. I want to help other people. That's my number one goal in life, and and being there for my family. And this is a way I can do it. I think I can help all the way through by helping other people with this in the sheds, selling sheds. I deal with people all day long. My dealers, we have about 12 lots. I help them all day long, help themselves, help others, and so I love doing that. And that's kind of why I do it, I guess, if you will. Family time is definitely big to me, and especially when you got children, they're not that old for very long, their time marches on, and pretty soon it's
Tell me
gone.
about it.
So I want to make sure that I am able to spend time with them, and hobbies, I guess. I love to fish. Just don't ever get to do it anymore very much, but I
Yeah.
love to do it. But pretty much what.
Let's go fishing sometime.
Yeah, hey man, we got lakes all over.
Let's figure it
Dale
out. Like,
Hollow.
I'll take a day off in the future
Let's do it.
and just come down and do some fishing.
You
know?
love smallmouth and Dale Hollow, striper and Lake
I'll bring my
Cumberland.
son. He loves to fish.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
He just loves it. I mean, because to me, that kind of stuff is something. When you get that, when it's all said and done, whether it's eshes and what you're doing and pushing sales and production and things, or whether it's rapid shells or shed geeking and doing, going out on the road and talking, you're doing it for a purpose. And sometimes it's easy to forget. And man, I've really been just sort of awoken lately with like the thought of that. My son is graduating this year, be going to school, and get going to Missouri next year, and my daughter is getting married in June, and we'll pretty well be empty nesters. I'm hoping my wife comes to work with us here on Shed Geek, because she's just talented and probably just make the show a whole lot better and cleaner and scale better.
That's right. Oh,
than me
man.
and Brett. Right, Brett? But man, you might not know this, but there was about 2 minutes there that was part of my favorite part of doing the podcast there, and that was talk about this, the personal side of it, and not even the product, as cool as it is. That's, to me, that's the part of Shed Geek that feeds me. I've worked in drug and alcohol rehabilitation and through ministry before. Usually being vulnerable, with that speaks to me, and seeing that and having family members that's been lost to addiction and even still, and the struggles that this world gives you. And my favorite thing is being able to have our faith ever present. And just telling people, just being straight up with folks that, hey, I don't get it right all the time, and sometimes I mess up, but thank goodness there's a God that'll His mercies are new every day.
And He has power. That's one thing I would like to, if there is, I'd like to give a shout out to anybody that's in that predicament. If somebody hears this show, and if there's one thing they take away, the rapid shells isn't the reason, isn't the thing in life. The thing in life is, if you do find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of, God has power to get you out, and He got me out.
Yeah.
Nothing I did. I was at the bottom, but He got me out, and has power to keep it out. So there is hope for people like that.
Man, what a cool moment. I enjoy that. So privately, I've been told of either those struggles currently or those struggles, excuse me, in their past, and how they've recovered and come out of some of those things. So it was actually surprisingly in a conservative industry. I was a little surprised that was a little bit, but there was more of that than what I thought. But I think that's the realness of people.
Yeah,
that's the realness of
that's
this
our
world.
human nature.
It's easy for me to be like, oh, we're Christian filled industry, and it seems to be faith is so present in the industry. Oh, nobody must have any problems.
Right.
I guess money woes and
Yeah.
temptations and all these other things don't exist to us, do they?
That's right. Man is born into sorrows, as sparks fly upward. So, everybody has them. So I think that and we're solving one of them. Rapid shell solves one of them at least.
There's a new age move toward like minimalism. And
I'm kind of there.
I think me and my wife are thinking about that as the kids begin to move out. We're like, gosh, we got abundance now. We got 2 hotels here, but minimalism. We sort of cover both sides of that industry with tiny homes for people who want less, and then for storage for people who have too much. But if you really take it on its face value for what it is, you're trying to create cleanliness, organization. I'm a big fan of that. You'd have to see all the email folders in my email, the way I'm very anal about making sure that I got all these things tucked away in the right spot. If my mind's cluttered, my day's cluttered.
Absolutely.
And I tell my wife all the time, there's nothing I love more than walking into our home or our bedroom or my garage where I'm a bit fanatical on cleaning my garage
Mm-hmm.
and having things in a space and in order.
Hello, Shed Builder. With each new year, builders are searching for ways to increase efficiency and safety. Simply put, the Joey Pivot Lift is an investment into your building crew and your bottom dollar. Manufacturers are able to save hours and dollars by making painting, decking, and roofing a safer and quicker process. The Joey Pivot Lift turns 360 degrees inside of a 50-inch radius and lasts an average 8-hour workday before needing charged. It has a minimum platform height of 61.5 inches, allowing you to reach into areas with ease versus the traditionally used 6-foot ladder. No tripping or falling hazards exist, and no need to climb down and restock. For roofers, simply load your metal on the lift prior to getting started and throw your roofing screws into the built-in tool tray. Pricing is just $8,295 for the 60 series, $9,685 for the 70 series, and $10,675 for the roofing model. For exact pricing that includes tax and delivery to your door, contact the Shed Geek at info@shedgeek.com or dial 618-309-3648. We're raising building standards with Joey Pivot Lift.
When I walk in, the home's clean. My mind feels better.
That's exactly.
Am I crazy?
No, you're dead
Am I really going out on a limb selling rapid shelves here? I'm not trying to. I'm really trying to bring a point home that I do. I've told Brent this before. I've told my wife this before. Brent, for those of you guys who don't know, is my audio video tech guy. He takes care of a lot of the stuff that you guys see that helps make Shed Geek look good. But I've told him, I said, when I walk into the home, I feel better. Dishes are done, things are put away, things are faced and squared away and tucked away, and that cleanliness just it does something for my mind to feel like I can go to a place and know where it is.
Right, absolutely. And I think clutter is one of the driving factors of depression. If you got stuff cluttered in your mind, cluttered all up, you don't know where no purpose. You got just kind of all this stuff. And then you stumble over stuff there in your mind. Then you go to your house and you stumble over pizza boxes or whatever it may be. And then you go to your shed that you just bought and you stumble over stuff there.
Yeah.
You're depressed.
Rapid shelves is not for those folks that say, my desk is a mess, but I know where to find everything.
That's right. Yeah.
This is for mine and your personality, right? Excuse me. Man, I love it. So if somebody's wanting to find out more, they want to know how do I get in touch with Rapid Shelves, with Judd, where do they go? If they're a manufacturer and something maybe they want to add to their line of sheds, or at least try them out. If they're a dealer and they want to order a few and see what this looks like, what do they do? Where do they go?
Well, so there's several different options. I'll tell you how you can get a hold of me if you want to just call and talk to me sometime. I love to talk to people. And if you just want to call and talk to me, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. But you can get a hold of me at info@rapidshelves.com. That's my email. That's the best way to get a hold of me, and then we can correspond with phone if you want to there, or you can go to my website, rapidshelves.com. Also, I will say that I have a distributor, and they're already in the shed industry. Been in the shed industry for how long? And it's WH Supply.
Okay.
And Mr. Shane Hartman runs that operation, and they do a great job. They're distributing hardware. When I was in production is how I got to know them. Great people, the best customer service I've ever seen, I think.
That's awesome.
And they just bend over backwards for their customers, and that's why I said if I can get Rapid Shelves in WH, I think I'll be good. So, and he took it on, and they actually distribute my product for me. So it helps out on the shipping end of it and all these logistics stuff. So you can get a hold of them. If you have an account, you can with them already. They can put it on their order. Of course, it just comes with whatever they ordered. But they can also go to their website, whsupply.com. There, they can also email sales@whsupply.com, and they can get a hold of any one of their salespeople there and order that way too. So
that's cool. I had the opportunity to run into those folks at the expo back in Richmond, and then at the GSSB show over here in Greenville. Just recently, and got a chance to talk to them, and we've just been playing phone tag and missing each other, or whatever it is. For me on my end, it's been having the opportunity to get up there. We could do a Zoom call, but I love these in-person interviews. I get to eat good food whenever I show up. I'm setting a high standard for the rest of the guests.
We'll go down there and get enough piece of cheesecake or something.
I'll tell you what, I promise you I will.
Yeah, I know, a cup of coffee. But I was at the Shed Show there, and just to talk about WH a little more, at the Shed Show in Richmond, when you said that, it reminded me, anybody that went past their booth, they had one of the most beautiful buildings.
Oh, they did? Yeah.
I mean, it was tricked out.
Yeah.
It looked nice.
It looked awesome, yeah.
So.
As a matter of fact, I went over to talk to him about it. And that's whenever we kind of got in the conversation. We had talked before and exchanged emails and things like that. So, man, for me, I just can't get on the road enough. That's the hardest part. I mean, we've been talking about doing a couple of different things, and I don't mind taking a little bit of time here, if you don't mind, to segue into that. I mean, kind of really feeling my way out on the Shed Geek podcast, to say. I mean, we're I don't know, 6, 7 shows in the queue and edited, and probably another 6 or 7 scheduled, and it's almost got me thinking about doing, maybe 2 a week. And I think, man, are we able to do that and entertain people and keep them educated? Because it's not just about education. I really enjoy the entertainment value factor of sitting down and talking to people and kind of really getting to know them and breaking bread with them and hearing their story. And the common denominator in all these things is sheds, but I think in our industry too, we find the common denominator to be Christ in so many things, and that's the ultimate denominator, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That connects us all as brothers and sisters. But the sheds is just kind of a conduit to a form of ministry, and I hope that doesn't sound like religious to anyone.
No, I don't. I mean, it's a spot to start.
Yeah.
It's a spot to start a conversation. So.
Well, there's so many other things built out from there. So we've even talked about doing a Monday show, maybe, and maybe focusing on the nuance of sheds. I was talking to you and Mr. Gingrich downstairs about that very thing. Maybe swing sets and carports and post frame. A lot of people are doing pole sheds, pole barns, and carports. It's a seller on a lot of people's lots, and deer blinds, and oh gosh, what else? Furniture, and maybe we can help create some nuance and some value for some of those companies, and kind of get the take on from the shed person's perspective on what those things mean.
Absolutely.
So I got to go to the NFBA last year, and that's pretty cool in Nashville. I'm going to try to get down there in Louisville and get into the GSSB and looking at some roll forming stuff, and really just want to, all these things touch.
It all touches a shed.
Absolutely. And some, you got metal on there. A lot of people are, like I say, they're selling carports. So the roll forming and bending metal and all that stuff really comes in. Gosh, isn't that kind of?
It's all.
You take a look at your product, and probably the prototypes are coming from the same mentality. So just a lot of things going on, exciting things. I encourage you guys to contact Judson today, or his contact there at WH Supply. It's a really cool product. We're going to try to throw some video together, maybe even on this episode or something, and just shine on your product there a little bit, and hope that people give you a call, man. And I just wish nothing but good luck for you. Anytime you're in the shed industry and you're doing something cool and creative and stuff like this, I'm always a supporter. And I think the saying is, you can have anything in life you want if you can help others get what they want. So
that's right. And you're helping. You're helping others. Man, you're doing good work. Right?
Blessed to be able to have the opportunity. I promise you that.
Oh yeah, and it would be fun. I really enjoyed this.
It really is fun.
Yeah.
That's what
I have fun while you're working.
I think people miscredit the idea that I get to come and know your story and gain so many friends in this industry. What a cool opportunity to have.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what about a slogan? Give the geek a squeak.
I'm gonna hire you as a PR guy if you're not careful. attitude, your humility, all of it shines through. Love your product. I wish you nothing but massive success. We're believers here. You care prayer over the industry. Would I be asking too much to ask you to just pray over the industry, or say thanks, or
Yeah, I mean, we can do that.
if that's all right? I caught you off guard.
Yeah, you did just a little bit. I think that anything, God hears anything. So
That's right. That's
okay. Well, we can pray. You're kind of wise, Father in heaven, and I thank you for this day you gave us, this opportunity we have here, that we can share hearts together and share what we've heard and know with others. And most of all, Lord, I want to thank you for sending your Son, saving us from our sins, and coming to die for us. And if we can look to you, we're healed, and help us that we can never keep that first and foremost in our lives. And we want to also pray special prayer for the ones out doing labor, keeping them safe, help them they can return home to their families and have quality time. And I also want to pray for the ones that are start, help them to have success, and give them wisdom in their decisions they make as they guide their business, and especially in this industry, help that it can be maybe a city set on a hill that when people think of sheds, they think of you. Also help us that we can just put you first in whatever you have us to do, that someday we can all be in heaven with you as one big family. Amen.
Amen. I'll tell you what, shouldn't have been so caught off guard. You're a prayer warrior there, buddy. I felt that. I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you a story. Whenever I was, and this may make it on, this may not on here. I was working faith-based drug and alcohol rehab. And one of the things that we did was we'd call on guys, ask them to pray over the meals each time.
Okay.
Even though they weren't, comfortable, they were kind of getting out of their comfort zone and learning. And it's sort of a fun thing around our. We don't make fun of prayer. What I'm saying is we laughed with a gentleman, called on a fellow that is always getting out of it. One time, he'd always find a way somehow to just weasel his way out of having to pray, and maybe it's a little uncomfortable for him, I'm not sure, but we just asked him, would you care to pray today? And I caught him off guard, and I'll tell you how this went. He says, yeah, I'm gonna pray here. Bow your heads. We all bow our heads, and he says, Lord, it was a good day. It was a good day.
Oh.
And amen. And I'm telling you, we just could not hold ourselves that day. And that prayer is the only prayer I remember from my entire year working in that ministry.
Nice.
And every now and then I'll look at my kids and they'll say, you know what today is? It's a good day.
Good day, that's right.
Thank you, Lord. So what a cool.
And that has a message in it too.
Absolutely, it does. The simplicity of it speaks volumes. So you'll know whenever you're around us, a lot of times we'll, hey, it's a good day. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Judd, wish you nothing but lots of luck, man.
Yes, sir. And it's a good podcast.
It's a good podcast.